Hello everyone, this is teacher Sarah from Phuket PALS. Welcome to yet another GED RLA screencast. Today's topic is about reading test, nonfiction, as promised last time from my last video where I talked about fiction. As usual, please like and click on the bell button if you'd like to hear more from us. Leave a comment if you have some questions. We would love to hear from you. All right, let's dive right in. So, nonfiction is factual writing about real people, places, and events. There are 4 types of nonfiction passages that may be included on the GED Informational texts, business documents, literary nonfiction, and visual arts. This section will define each of these types and explain their key features. For example, informational texts. Informational texts are factual materials that you read to obtain information. Examples are textbooks, training materials, and the book you are reading right now, if you're reading them. When you read informational texts, you're looking for facts and for ways to organize them in a logical way. Each type of informational text has a specific purpose, which may be to present information in such a way that the reader is persuaded to take some action or teach the reader how to do something. And then you have business documents. So when you're applying or when you're working or looking for a job, you read many different types of business documents, employee handbooks, training manuals, instructions, just to name a few. Business documents are similar to informational texts in that you read them to obtain information, but they are different in one key way. When you read a business document, you're looking for specific rules and procedures to follow. For example, a business document may tell you how to apply for a job, how to apply for college, or how to use a word processing program. Basically, 101s, introductions, how-tos. Business documents are rule-oriented and organized so that you can find key information easily. Now, how do we distinguish facts from opinion? When you read informational texts, you should always read critically to separate the author's opinion from facts. In most cases, informational text contains a combination of facts and opinion. Do you know what's the difference between facts and opinions? Let me tell you. A fact is something that can be proved beyond the point of reasonable argument. For example, John F. Kennedy was elected President of the United States in 1960. Is a key fact that can be verified. In contrast, John F. Kennedy was a great president. That's an opinion. Evidence could be produced either to support or deny this statement, and reasonable people might well disagree about whether it is true or false. It's the same as saying that McDonald's is expensive. It's all relative and subjective because expensive depends on the person who is looking at the price. If you are not making so much money or you're pretty broke, then that would be expensive. If you're a millionaire, then that would be basically coins for you. Anyway, oh no. Okay. Of course, teacher Sarah makes a mistake. Classic. Identifying perspective. A perspective is the standpoint from which a person views something. Because your life experiences are different from everyone else's, your perspective will be different as well. When you read, try to identify the perspective of the writer. For example, evaluate the language the writer uses to determine if he or she views the topic favorably. Think about how the language would be different if he or she held a different perspective. And this actually also works for the GED extended response portion. You can check out some of our videos about that. We've got tons of them. Just look for Phuket PALS extended response tips or just type extended response and you'll find tons of information from us. Next is cause and effect. Informational texts make frequent use of cause and effect relationships. This means that one event, the cause, leads to another event, the effect. Knowledge, of course, Knowledge of cause and effect relationships is often tested by asking questions about why something happens, requiring you to state the cause. Okay, now that I've explained now let's look into a text. Questions. What is the Carnegie Organization of Washington? The Carnegie Institution of Washington, a private nonprofit organization engaged in basic research and advanced education in biology, astronomy, and the earth sciences, was founded by Andrew Carnegie in 1902 and incorporated by an act of Congress in 1904. Mr. Carnegie, who provided an initial endowment of $10 million and later gave additional millions, conceived the institution's purpose: to encourage, in the broadest and most liberal manner, investigation, research and discovery, and the application of knowledge to the improvement of mankind. Good one, isn't it? From its earliest years, the Carnegie Institution has been a pioneering research organization devoted to fields of inquiry that its trustees and staff consider among the most significant in the development of science and scholarship. Its funds are used primarily to support investigators at its own research departments. Recognizing that fundamental research is closely related to the development of outstanding young scholars, the institution conducts a strong program of advanced education at the pre-doctoral and postdoctoral levels. Carnegie also conducts distinctive programs for elementary school teachers and children in Washington, D.C. At First Light, a Saturday hands-on science school, elementary school students explore worlds within and around them. At summer sessions of the Carnegie Academy for Science Education, elementary school teachers learn interactive techniques of science and mathematics teaching from the website of Carnegie Institution of Washington. Like I said the last time, for the fictional texts, it is the same for nonfiction. They can be excerpts, they can be taken from a longer set of text, or they can be just as is. Okay, here is our question. According to the passage, the Carnegie Institution's two main functions are, give you a second to figure that out. If your answer is number 1, you are correct. This is based on comprehension. You just have to read and understand. The answer is stated in the first sentence of the passage. Here you go. All the other choices are phrases from the passage, but they are not the institution's purpose. Choice 3 is the closest to the correct answer, but it is vague rather than precise. So choice 1 here. Choice 1 is the better choice. All right, question number 2. From whose perspective is this passage written? Andrew Carnegie's, a Carnegie Institute employees, a job seekers, a student, the Carnegie Institutes. Okay, if your answer to this question is number 5, then you are correct. If you're confused, let me tell you. Here, it requires a bit of an analysis. Think about the language that is being used in the passage. It's highly favorable to the institution. It is written from the perspective of the institution itself. Otherwise, if you'd have read it from a job seeker or a student or an employee, you might hear or read a little bit of opinion based on their own experiences and their own biases. But here, it's all about the good things that they've done, the very important information, or the key information about Carnegie Organization of Washington. Number 3, according to the passage, First Light is a program for elementary school teachers, elementary school students, pre-doctoral students, postdoctoral students, or scientists. If your answer is number 2, you are correct. Again, that is just based on comprehension. You don't have to think about it too hard, it's right there. You can see the word here, the words At First Light, a Saturday hands-on elementary school students explore worlds within and around them. So, the answer is number 2. Pretty clear, isn't it? The other choices are groups mentioned in the passage as participating in other Carnegie programs. And there you have it. Would love to hear from you. As usual, leave a comment, leave a like, and let us know what you think about this lesson, or if you'd like to hear more from us, we would love to give some more to you. That's all from me, Teacher Sarah, and I look forward to being on a video for you again. All right, see you next time.